Okay, I guess this is my second YouTube video. Hi, I'm Kitty. I'm gonna be sharing with you today some of my favorite restaurant experiences because I've been working in restaurants since I was 14 years old, and I'm gonna share with you guys one of my favorite stories from when I was working at a restaurant. So this story happened sometime this year. I think it was in like January or something. So I was working as a hostess that night, and I was so tired. I was on a double shift. I had been there for about 10 hours since I was there, open to close. So I was there, 8 a.m. sharp, and it's currently like 6 p.m. So I've been there for a while, and I was just waiting for my shift to be over. And this woman comes in. And so the thing about my restaurant is that there's a hostess. You know what a host is. She sits you down with your menu. She's like, okay, your server will be out in just a moment. And then we have a to-go specialist. The to-go specialist sits in the kitchen and then puts in to-go orders, gets them all packaged up, and then gives it to the hostess for the hostess to give to the people. So I was working as hostess, not to-go specialist. I was not the to-go specialist that night. I'm also not allowed to be a to-go specialist because I have severe hearing loss in my left ear, so I wasn't allowed to answer phone calls. So one day, this woman comes in. I've been there for about 10 hours. I'm waiting for this shift to end. And this woman comes in. And she has. I want to say this, but I think it's going to be really, really mean. But I'm going to say it anyways because no one's actually going to watch this video. So she was the biggest woman I've ever seen in my life. And that's saying something because I used to live in Texas. I lived in Texas where you would regularly see like overweight people on mobility scooters because they were too big to like properly move around. So this woman comes in, she's the biggest woman I've ever seen, and I was like, oh my god, are we on 600-pound life right now? Where's the cameras? Where's the cameras? And she rolls in on her mobility scooter, and she's the worst smoker's voice I've ever heard in my life. If you want to smoke cigarettes, if you want to smoke weed, you want to smoke nicotine, whatever, that's fine, you do you. I don't care. Pop off. So she comes in with the worst smoker voice I've ever heard. She's like, I have an order for Virginia. Okay. So I'm like, great, I'm going to go ahead and check with my to-go specialist and see if that's ready for you. So I walk on into the kitchen and I'm like, hey, do we have a order ready for Virginia? And my to-go specialist lady, she's like, yeah, it's right here. And it's this big bag. So at my restaurant, we have two bag sizes. We have a little bag that can hold two things. It can hold two to-go containers. And we have a bigger bag that can hold 8. It can hold, that's 7. It can hold 8 things. Big bag. She gives me the big bag with a drink. Singular Dr. Coke. What? Yes, I'm going with it. Singular Dr. Coke. So I go back up to the front and I'm like, here's your stuff. It says that you already paid online, so you are good to go. And this woman starts to pick up every single thing in this bag and opening it up and then inspecting each item inside of the to-go bag. And like, that's fine. I get it. You want to make sure your order is correct. Go for it. Here's my problem. She was doing it on my hostess desk on top of my menus, which means that I couldn't serve or help anyone behind her. And it's 6 p.m. on a Friday at like a classic American restaurant in a pretty busy area. Right there. And I couldn't help anyone behind her because she was there. So I'm like, ma'am, I understand that you want to like make sure your order is correct. Can you please do it in our waiting area so that I can help the people behind you? She's like, no. And I'm just kind of like, okay. So I like slide the menus out from under her bag. I go to the side, and I'm having to like run back and forth in our like open area, whatever it's called. I don't know. In our open area because the tablet that we have to sit people at. My cat's screaming at me. Hi, baby. Do you want to say hi? This is my cat, Nicole. She loves my server stories. Go follow my cat's Instagram that she doesn't have. So I'm having to run back and forth between like areas because I have to grab the menus for one part and find how many people there are in one area. Then I have to go to the other side of the room to get to the tablet to see which server is next, what open tables they have, can this amount of people fit at this table or this booth, and whatever. So I'm doing that, and I'm running around trying to get everything ready. And then this woman calls me over. She's like, "Get over here!" And I'm like, "Okay." So I walk back over to my regular hostess table, and I'm like, "Yes, ma'am, how can I help you?" And she looks at me, and she goes, I'm not lying. This is a true story. You can ask my manager. Don't do that. He doesn't know I'm doing this. She looks at me, and she says these exact words. "There isn't enough mayo on my burger." Okay, great. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm just going to go get mayo packets from the back. I can like take the food back, get mayo on it. It'll be fine. But before I can say anything to her, before I can tell her, "Let me go fix that for you," she picks up the bag of opened food containers and the Dr. Coke and throws it at me. This giant bag that holds 8 items, all open containers, and a Dr. Coke, picks it up and throws it at me. I'm being so serious. I was at that restaurant for 10 hours. And now I'm standing there and I'm covered in food and in sauce and in Dr. Coke. And I'm just flabbergasted. I'm bewildered because what the And I'm standing there and she's sitting there on her mobility scooter because she's too big to do anything. And I was just like, "Did you just throw this at me?" She was like, "You got my order wrong." I'm standing here. I'm covered in burgers and in sides and in the special sauce and the ranch and whatever else. And the worst is that there was a very definite liquid, which is the Dr. Coke, that was thrown and spilled all over me. And I scream at the top of my lungs for my manager. I'm like, "Manager! Manager, get over here! Get over here now!" So my manager, like does that little, like, manager run. You know what I'm talking about? Put that picture of the cop guy from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatball. I was like, very accurate representation of how my manager ran. He comes over and he's staring at the woman in the mobility scooter, and then he looks down and he looks at me, and I'm covered in food. And he says in Spanish, because he's a Mexican dude, he says in Spanish, "What the fuck?" And I look at him and I'm like, "If you don't call the police right now, I will quit my job." And he's like, "Oh no." So he calls 911 on the phone. They get here, and he like sends me to the back to get like mostly cleaned up. And I look at my to-go special lady, and she's like, "Oh my God, what happened to you?" And I'm like, "I don't know, but I just suffered the consequences to your actions. Because there wasn't enough mayo on that burger. So now I look like this. With all the sauce and the grease and the Dr. Coke just all over me. I get mostly cleaned up, but I want to see this woman get taken out by the cops. So I like hustle back over to my host stand, and I'm there, and so the outlet mall that I worked at, like, the security was there, and then so were the cops. And I'm watching this, and this woman, this big woman on her mobility scooter, is trying to run over the cops. She is taking her mobility scooter and running into the cops. Just it got to the point where they had to grab her and pull her out of the mobility scooter. They had to confiscate the mobility scooter because she was trying to run them over. Yeah. And the reason that it was so funny to watch is because this woman was so robust, so absolute, so obtuse, so round, like a circle with eyelashes, just so round. The reason it was so funny is because she got on her back and got stuck like that. She couldn't get back up. She was turtle. She was a turtle on the floor of my restaurant. You're like, screaming. And they had to physically hold her up, 2 cops each side by her arms, and drag her out of the restaurant because she was that big that they had to hoist her up and then shuffle out with this bajillion-pound woman. And they had to take away her mobility scooter. And I think that is my favorite restaurant story to tell people because it was so crazy and so unnecessary. Moral of the story is, if you need a mobility scooter because you're that big, you're not allowed to complain about what's on your food. You're not. Unless you're on a diet to fix your weight, you are not allowed to complain about your food. And you're especially not allowed to take the bag of open food containers and throw it at the host lady. Not allowed. Not happening. And don't throw your Dr. Coke at people. I got sent home, and that's the story. In summary, woman came in, order was wrong, threw it at me, I'm covered in stuff. Her mobility scooter got taken away, and she was rolled out by cops. That's the story. Thank you so much for listening to me. I have so many more crazy stories from working at restaurants, working at fast food, casual dining, and even fine dining restaurants. I have a lot of stories. So if you want to see or hear more, let me know and I will make another video. I'm probably going to make another video anyways because I don't have many friends. So you all get to listen to me. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you want. If you don't want to, that's also fine. I will cry. I will cry about it though. I will sob. My eyeliner and my mascara will just run down my face and I'll send you a picture of it. I'll send you a picture of how devastated I am that you didn't like and subscribe to my video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'm Kitty. And I have a new sign-off thing that I'm doing, which is where I just dramatically fall off of this weird chair thing that I have.